Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're gonna make this beautiful crocheted baby cardigan. This is appropriate for 3 to 6 months old baby. This cardigan is made top down, which means we're gonna start from the neckline and work our way down to the end of the cardigan and then continue to finish our sleeves. Very easy to make, uses 3 very simple and basic stitches: single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. This cardigan is appropriate for spring and summer because it's so airy. As you can see, very light color, beautiful stretch to it. I will leave the list of materials you will need for this project down below in the description box. And without further ado, let's begin. We're going to start with a slip knot and chain 46. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 46. We are going to chain 1 and then skip this first stitch, and into the second we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to single crochet in every chain we've made, so at the end of this row we should have 46 single crochets, so all the way to the end. For row 3 we're going to chain 3, turn our work. Now we're going to do additional double crochet into the next stitch, and into the next stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. So first chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so what we have is 2 double crochet and then increase again 2 double crochet by placing 1 in each of the 2 next stitches, and into the third stitch it's going to be increase, which is 2 double crochets in that same stitch. So that's the sequence for this row: 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and now 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and continue so till the end of the row. I'm at the end of the row and I should put my increase into that last or 1 to last stitch. I'm not going to do so because it's the end of the row, so in this case there's going to be 3 double crochets and then 1 more double crochet into that last or turning chain. So that's what we have so far. There is a slight curve already to our work because we did some increases. For the next row we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and now we're going to skip this stitch where the chain 2 is coming out of, and the next stitch, and into the next stitch we're going to do half double crochet. We are now going to yarn over and go back to that missed stitch right here and do half double crochet. Skip this stitch, go to the next one and do half double crochet, yarn over, and then go back and grab that stitch that we skipped. So that's the sequence. You will skip one, and into the next one you will do half double crochet and then half double crochet going backwards into that skipped stitch. That's the sequence for this row. I'll meet you close to the end of this row. I'm on my last 3 stitches, so as before, crossed half double crochet, and into that top of chain 3 we're going to put last half double crochet. You will chain 3, turn your work. After your turn you're going to do 2 more double crochets and then an increase. So the sequence for this row will be 1, 2, 3 double crochets, and then and increase. At the end of the row, in preparation for the next row of crossed half double crochets, I have my increase right here, and normally I would just do my 3 double crochets, but in this case I'm going to do an increase before the last one stitch before the last one, and then into that chain 3 space I'm gonna put my last double crochet there. So we should have, I believe, 72 stitches now. To turn, we are going to chain 2 because we're working with half double crochets. Then again, skip this very stitch where we came out of, skip the next one and into the third one, put your half double crochet, chain or yarn over, and go back and half double crochet into that skipped stitch, skip, go to the next one, half double crochet, yarn over, go back and half double crochet into the skipped stitch. Continue this sequence till the end of the row. I'm at the end of the row and I have 3 stitches left, so I'm going to do my crossed half double crochet and into the top of chain 2 I will do my last half double crochet. Nice color transition, I quite like it. We will now chain 3 and start our double crochets. So skip the first one, go to the second one and do double crochet into the next one, double crochet into the next one, increase. So we are repeating row 4, which is 3 double crochets and increase. We will make adjustments as needed towards the end of the row. So 1, 2, 3 double crochets and an increase. So I have 5 stitches remaining. This is my increase. Instead of 3, I am going to do 2 double crochets and then increase again, and then do 2 more double crochets till the end. So that will even the number for us for the next round of half double crochets. Chain 2, turn your work, skip this one, skip this one, into the third one, do half double crochet, yarn over, go back and finish that skipped stitch, skip one into the next one. So continue in the same fashion till the end of this row. If you come to the end of the row and then you realize that you don't have a pair number of or even number of stitches, like I did find out, you can undo. I did actually fix that here, right here. You can barely see it, so I'm gonna undo those few stitches so I can show you how I did that. I think it was this one here. All right, so you would normally do your crossed half double crochet, and now in the next stitch to fix it, you will just go into the very next stitch, and first part of stitch is there, the second part you go backwards and finish your half double crochet, and then you continue your regular crossed half double crochet stitches until the end of the row. Sometimes you skip a stitch without realizing. That's probably what I did, but there is no need to go back and unravel everything because of that one stitch, because we can camouflage it effectively. So there you go. So now we have a row of single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 rows. I did this previously. So, oops. And and I have single crochet row, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. We're gonna do one more row of double crochets. For row 8 we will chain 3, turn our work, and do 2 more double crochets. So we're gonna repeat row 4 again and then increase. And continue with 3 double crochets and then increase into the 4th stitch. So this is our last increase round until the end of the row. For this row to come to an even number, I have 7 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So after this increase, I will do 2 double crochets and 1 more. I'm going to do my increase into the 3rd instead of 4th stitch. I will do 2 double crochets. I will do increase, and the last double crochet will go into the top of chain 2. 14. The next row will be crossed half double crochet, so chain 2, turn your work, skip this one and this one, go to the next one and start your crossed half double crochets, and I'll see you at the end of the row. At the end of this row we're gonna do 1 row of double crochets. Not at the end of this row, but the next row will be 1 row of double crochets, but we will also separate for sleeves. Alright, so it's time to separate for sleeves, and I draw up a little pattern that we're going to be using to separate the stitches for the both sleeves. And so what I calculated was, in total I have 115 stitches. If you happen to have 114 or 116, really not a big deal. 1 stitch won't make such a big difference, and we are always able to adjust the number of stitches to what we need. So I separated the first 17 stitches, placed a stitch marker, so that's right here. So counting the stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and into the 18th stitch I put the stitch marker. Then I counted 22 stitches for the sleeve without counting the one that's stitch marked. So skip that one and do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Into the 23rd stitch I put the stitch marker. I did the same on the other side, so put the stitch marker into the 18th stitch and then count 22, stitch marker into the 23rd stitch. What I'm left with is 33 stitches in the back. If you happen to have 1 more stitch, make sure that you leave it up here, so you would have 34 stitches here. If you happen to have 114 stitches, you would have 32 stitches here, which is fine. So to continue, we are going to start our double crochet row. So chain 3, I will mark my 3rd chain or top of chain 3, turn your work and start your double crochets. You should have 17 double crochets between the beginning and the first stitch marker. So this is my stitch number 15, 16, and 17. Remove your stitch marker and do a double crochet into that same stitch, chain 2, 1 and 2. Go all the way to the next stitch marker, remove it, and double crochet into that marked stitch. And that's our little armhole. So now I need to adjust my number of stitches for the back panel because I have 33 stitches between the two stitch markers. So this stitch here was where my stitch marker was, and that belongs to my sleeve. This stitch here is also where the stitch marker is, belongs to the sleeve, and now I have 33 stitches here. In the middle, so say around 16th, 17th stitch, I will add one more stitch so that I can have altogether a pair number or even number of 34 stitches. That's important so I can do my crossed half double crochets. So I'm gonna do 16 stitches and then I'm gonna do an increase. I will show you how to do that. So I did 16 double crochets into the 17th. I will do 2 double crochets into that same stitch and then continue with my regular double crochets till the next stitch marker. That's going to bring my total number to an even number, which is 34 stitches on the back. I'm at my next arm opening or sleeve opening, so remove the stitch marker, do your regular double crochet, chain 2, go to the next stitch marker and remove it and do double crochet into that marked stitch and finish your 17 double crochets. Now chain 2 to turn your work. I'm going to mark the top of chain 2. And now we're going to start skipping this one, the next one, and into the third stitch we're going to half double crochet and then go back and finish our half double crochet crossed. And we should have 8 half double crochet cross stitches until we reach the underarm area. Please double check to make sure that you have 8 crossed half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clusters. And now we are left with the double crochet here. So we made 2 chains. Skip the last double crochet and work into that chain, your first half double crochet, then go back into the last stitch we skipped and finish your half double crochet cross. Now for the next stitch we're going to be using the chain and the last stitch. So I'm going to go into the last stitch first, half double crochet, and then go back and into that chain space I will do my crossed half double crochet. Now continue until you reach the second underarm area and then we'll do that area together. So I'm at the other sleeve opening, so now I have one more stitch remaining, 2 chains and the first stitch of the front area. So I'm going to skip the last stitch and do a half double crochet into the first chain and then go back and finish my half double crochet into that last stitch of the back panel. Then I'm going to skip the chain 1 and do my first half double crochet into that first stitch of my front panel, then go back and finish my crossed half double crochet into that chain space. And now we continue as usual till the end of the row. So if I divide the 2 under the armpit area crossed stitches, I would have 9 clusters, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then I should have 9 remaining. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So our little cardigan is shaping really nicely. I started my sleeves, and that is only to better control the color transition. that I have. If I continued with this purple, I would then move on to the blue yarn, and there's a lot of blue yarn, so I would end up with probably the whole bottom of my cardigan in blue, and then my sleeves would be in teal green and kind of yellowish color. So I want to control that a little bit better. However, this is optional, and if it doesn't bother you, or if you're not using variegated yarn, then just continue with the bottom, which I will show later. So to start the sleeve, there are 2 crossed half double crochets. I'm going to start in this stitch here. Leave yourself a bit of a tail if you need to use it to close the gap later. And you will chain 3. And go for the next stitch, which is right here. We are not going to do a whole double crochet. We're going to do a half double crochet, which would actually serve as a 2 stitches together. So we're going to move on to the next one. That is this space here, right here, and do 2 double crochets together. And now we're going to continue with our regular double crochets, 2 per stitch. So each of these clusters will have 2 double crochets. At the end of this row, we should have 28 stitches, 28 double crochets. So continue with double crochets until we get close to the other end, and I will show you how to close the round. I'm now going to do my last cluster and put 2 double crochets into that cluster. And now we need to do 2 times 2 double crochets together. So I'm going to use this stitch and then this and this. So it's going to be 2 double crochets together, and 1 more 2 double crochet together, and we will slip stitch to the top of chain 3, but I'm going to count my stitches now to see how many I ended up with. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, 26, and 28. So I got 28 stitches. At this point, I'm going to slip stitch to the top of chain 3, but with my blue yarn. There, and you will chain 2. You will turn your work, and now we're going to start a row of half double crochet cross stitches, and I can cut my pink yarn. So you will skip this stitch and you will do your cross half double crochet into the next stitch. And then you're looking at these 2 stitches and you will start doing your regular half double crochet stitches until you reach the end of the row. And then I'll show you how to close the round and change direction. So I have 2 stitches remaining. So that's my last cluster. This cluster is already taken. You can see that the blue yarn is coming out of it, and you will slip stitch to this first stitch of the 2 cross stitches. You will chain. Before we continue with double crochets, count your clusters and make sure that you have 14. So we have 28 stitches, and each of the cross stitches is 2 half double crochets. So we should have 14 of half double crochet clusters. And if I count from the thread here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And so now you will chain 3, turn your work, and continue with double crochets until the end of the round, and then repeat. And I will do this in blue color for total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. I'm gonna end with half double crochets. So let's do 7 rows and then I'll now I have 7 rows on either side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And same here. Now I'm gonna cut my yarn. Again, I'm repeating this. This is optional. If you don't get bothered by color transitions, you will just continue working on the body of the cardigan. So I am going to now continue with the body of my cardigan, and to do that I'm gonna unravel my last stitch and do only first half of my double crochet, and now bring in my second color, which is my blue, chain 3, and turn my work. This is now smooth sailing from now on, because all we are going to do is continue with our rows. So in addition to single crochet row, we're going to have 20 rows of double crochets alternating with half double crochets. So to this point I weaved in all my ends except this one here, because we're going to need this to continue working around the bottom of our cardigan. I also finished one sleeve, and that one sleeve has altogether I believe 15 rows. So starting from the blue, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Then I finished with crossed half double crochet, and then added 1 row of half double crochet, and then 1 row of single crochet. So I have 13 rows here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13. And so now I'm gonna add 1 more row of half double crochets. So slip stitch to the top of that first stitch, chain 2, and now we're not going to be turning our work to work on the inside of the project. So instead I'm going to skip 1 stitch and do half double crochet, skip this one, half double crochet, skip the next stitch, half double crochet. So we're going to be skipping every second stitch till the end of this row. I'm on my last half double crochet, so skipping this one, doing half double crochet into that last stitch, and slip stitch to the top of chain 2. You should have 14 half double crochets, and now we're going to chain 1 into that same space, single crochet, and then single crochet into every stitch around. This is my last single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. Now you have 2 options as to how to finish this. You can slip stitch together, then chain 1, pull your yarn and cut, and then weave in that end, or you can do the invisible join. And so when you on your last stitch, do not slip stitch, just pull the yarn out about 3 inches and cut it. And one more thing I'm going to mention is that when your yarn is thick or quite thick and it has hard time getting through the eyelet, what I do is I use this needle threader, which is a very neat little tool to have. So just get it through the eye of the needle and then thread your yarn through the actual tool and then pull through. Very convenient. And so to finish this, each single crochet would have a little V, or each stitch would have a little V on top. So from here I am going to go from the back side to the front, grab the first complete stitch right here, back to front, and now make sure that the length of that new stitch that you're going to create is matching the rest of the stitches. I always grab the back loop only and then a little loop behind it, so right here, right, so back loop and then additional loop in the back. Now look at your stitches, adjust the length of the stitch, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to hold it with my thumb and index finger, and I'm going to weave in that end the best I can. I'm going to make a little knot here. And just weave in the end a couple, 3 times, whatever makes you feel comfortable. And that will be it. So do that with the rest of the little end tails. And when you look at that finish, you can't even tell where we bound off. All the stitches look the same. All right. So my sleeves are from the blue, counting from when the blue is starting, because that's the under armpit area. So right here, I am measuring 6 and almost ½ inches. And my entire cardi is from the shoulder down, this is the shoulder, is almost 10. So I'll go around with a row of half double crochets and circle all the way around to give it more polished look. To finish the bottom, I reattached my yarn here. So I'm going to start working with my yellow yarn. And then chain 2. And turn my work and just start doing half double crochets all the way till the end of the bottom, which will be right here. So half double crochets all the way around. At the end of the row, we will chain 1 and chain 2, sorry, and put 1 half double crochet into this space. Now this is our half double crochet row, so we're going to put 1 more half double crochet here. This is our double crochet row, so I'm going to put 1 double crochet into that little space, sorry, 1 half double crochet, and then another half double crochet right here, but into the stitch. So in each half double crochet we're going to put 1 half double crochet. In each double crochet row we're going to put 1 half double crochet here, and then one more somewhere either in the stitch or around the stitch. Again, half double crochet, we're going to put the stitch here, then a double crochet row, one will go here and the other one will go in this space, then 1 half double crochet, and then 2 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and then 2. So continue this till you reach the end. At the end of the row, 1 half double crochet will go into that single crochet row. You will chain 1 and into that same space single crochet, and then single crochet into this bottom of the half double crochet. And now we're going to continue with single crochets in every stitch from the previous round. So do this around the neckline and I'll meet you at the other end. So all the way till here. At the end of the row, I'm going to put my last stitch into this stitch here, chain 2, and now that was our single crochet row. This is our double crochet, so 1 half double crochet will go in here and 1 in the stitch. 1 half double crochet will go into the half double crochet row, then 2 will go into a double crochet row. I counted my stitches on the other side and I have 33 stitches, so make sure you have the same number of stitches on this side as well. Adjust it. I now have 31 stitch. I'm going to put one more stitch here and the last one into that corner space. So now I have 33 stitches. Before I continue, I'm going to mark the places for my button loops. I want my buttons, 2 buttons, to be approximately here and here. So the first button should be in this orange area, and what I'm having in mind is this is already our horizontal stitch going this way. This is the last single crochet going this way, so I'm going to single crochet in here, skip these 2 stitches and single crochet in here. So I'm going to mark my 2 stitches that I want to make for my buttonhole with a piece of yarn. Just like so. You can use stitch marker if you prefer. Now I know that these 2 stitches will be my button loops, and then my next button should come around here, just above the armpit. So let's count. We're gonna start single crocheting here, so let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So these 2 will be my button loop spot. So let me just see. Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm going to put a piece of yarn in there as well. All right, so now we can continue. This was my last half double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and this time I'm gonna single crochet into that same space and into this next space, which was also part of our half double crochet. And now we have a whole row of single crochets going all the way around the bottom. And then when you come here, I'm gonna show you what to do for your buttonholes. So all the way bottom, and then start going up here. Here we're gonna put 3 single crochets. I'm gonna show you that too. So let's meet at that corner. I did my last single crochet, so I came to the corner. So this is where we had our chain 2 and then half double crochet. So in that space here I will put 3 single crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to continue with single crochets until our first marked space, and we're going to create that buttonhole. I'm almost at my marked 2 stitches, so this is my single crochet still. I will now chain 2, and I will skip these 2 marked stitches and single crochet into the next stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 9 and 10. We are going to chain 2, skip these 2 marked stitches, and put our stitch or single crochet into that last single crochet from a previous row. So that's our 2 button loops. Always a good idea to double check and make sure that your button goes easily through your button loop, as mine do. So that's our last stitch, and now we're gonna have to work around the neckline. So I will chain 1, so chain 1, and I'm gonna do slip stitches all the way around the neckline, and then we're going to continue this until we get to the next side of the neckline. So I slip stitch all the way around. That creates such a nice little braid. So I'm going to slip stitch into this very last stitch, if I can. Chain 1, go into this very first space and start your single crochets. This side has nothing on it, so we're just gonna have to do single crochet row all the way to the bottom. I'm at the end of the row, so into my last stitch I will put 2 single crochets, and I will slip stitch to the first single crochet of that horizontal row. So we matched the other side where we had our 3 single crochet and then rounded corner. So again, I'm going to do my invisible join, and then I'll meet you when I'm about to sew my buttons. To sew the button, I'm using the same thread or one of the colors that I have on my little cake there, and this is my button loop. So I'm going to sew my button somewhere around here, right in the corner. And what I do is I don't actually sew the button, I more like tie it on. Also make sure that your needle goes through your buttonholes. And if the yarn is too thick and you cannot find button that has enough space for your needle and the thick yarn. Then you can definitely take sewing thread and sew your buttons on. Tighten and tie it in the back, which is what I'm gonna do. And this is it. Our beautiful baby cardigan is now done. I think it's very interesting with all the color transitions. I love the 2 buttons that we added up. It is quite airy, so that means it can be definitely spring, summer jacket or all year round. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please leave me a like or subscribe, and until our next project together, stay well everyone.